Look, Joe belongs to the streets. I'm not gonna lie. That's what's up with these demonic succubuses sucking the life and the money right out of you. I should know from Vegas.
I would let Joe ruin my life.
Oh, I would let Joe give me AIDS.
You'd be like, I'm so sorry. I don't know how it happened. It's like, yeah, it's okay.
Like, it's okay, Joe. I love you. Like, it's totally fine. I want this.
Yeah. Got anything else?
Yeah.
Jake was like, even though he's on time, Cody still manages to be late somehow.
It's like your mutant ability. Like, you just like fuck with time.
Yeah, time around me slows down.
Yeah, it's like time dilation.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, boys, I got some exciting news.
Is it just going to be you getting drunk or something? Because I can't keep taking these mediocre announcements.
Yeah.
It was actually going to be I'm getting a haircut.
Dude, you can't follow Anthony's announcement of us being his groomsmen with like, guess what, you guys? I'm clipping my toenails today.
The chronological order of announcements is Cody announcing he cried to his friends about how much he loved them, followed by me announcing Cody and Jake are my roommates, followed by this announcement.
It's a shit sandwich. Well, it's a great sandwich with shit bread.
Well, you made the bread, dude, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna live in it.
Yes, sleep in it.
Yeah, you made your bread.
I'll sleep in it. Oh, that's awesome.
Welcome, boys.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Yeah, how's everyone feeling?
Hilarious.
Jake has the plague.
Well, I might as well announce to our fans, it's official, you guys, after years of literally fighting off communism and liberals, I too have succumbed to COVID and am now positive with the Rona.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I can't believe it got me, man. I'm not going to lie. I prided myself this whole time on not getting it by having a stronger immune system than everyone else.
Yeah, well.
Clearly it got me.
How do you think I felt, dude? I felt that same way. Not gonna lie.
Y'all are some bitches. I'm not surprised that any of you got it.
I'm not surprised that I was the first to get it.
Oh, I'm not surprised either. I'm convinced you're patient zero, honestly.
I started the whole damn thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if the entire end of the world is because of Cody's fuckery.
Yep, that's why Joe Manchin is trying to keep power in West Virginia. He knows he's at the source.
Yeah, Cody is. Yeah. Oh God, that's hilarious. But yeah, dude, I think Vegas gave me the Rona for sure.
Dude, that's what happens when you go to the. What is that city called? What's it called? The
Sin City?
Sin City. Yeah.
I knew you were thinking that. You're like, that's what happens when you go to the old big place.
Yeah, the city of sin.
I know. I mean, better coronavirus than fucking AIDS, I guess. So.
Very true. If you're going to come back with anything from Vegas, hopefully it's some money, but also not AIDS.
Yeah, not AIDS.
Not AIDS.
Though I didn't even tell you guys, and this is a true story. I hinted at it in the last episode. I got my shit robbed while I was in Vegas.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was going to be our after hour story.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll save it for now. I'll tell it now. I like got my credit cards and debit cards taken more than likely by this woman who, no, she was not a prostitute. because we never
I
like
wasn't
I
even thinking.
oh well, a lot of people were like, oh, let me guess, you got robbed by a hooker, and I was like, no, don't get me wrong, I did get robbed, but she wasn't a hooker because we never had sex and I never paid her for anything. She hung out with me for like 8 hours, and then we went back to my room, and when I woke up, she was gone and all the shit was taken out of my wallet.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hell
That
yeah.
sucks.
Dude, it did suck because she tried to like, it's like my credit card company called me and they're like, hey, did you just try buying like $800 worth of shit from Walmart? And I was like, no, absolutely not. So,
Yeah.
Damn. So was this some sort of femme fatale? Is that what it was?
No, it was just a whore with a regular whore's heart. But
Jake, I am sorry you lost your things. You had your shit stolen. That's terrible news, but also a delight.
Why do you delight in it?
Because it couldn't have happened to a better dude. You know what I mean?
Fuck you, Cody. You deserve every bad thing that's ever happened to you in life.
Cody, why do you delight so much in others' misfortunes?
I know.
You said,
you bitter
you said you would be proud and happy if you could. Something about killing Kevin Costner. We're like, what? Kevin Costner?
Just unnecessarily killing people.
Dude, I said only briefly killing him in my defense.
But you like it would be like a delight. Why do you delight in these terrible things? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. I like chaos.
I like chaos.
Yeah, I'm the Joker, dude.
Oh God, I don't know if you're the Joker, but you're definitely a clown.
Hey, oh, dude, did you see what that tweet that I posted? I know Anthony saw it.
No, I don't have Twitter anymore. I got rid of it because Anthony legit bullied me into getting rid of Twitter.
Yep, I said fucking delete this. I'm tired of your shit. More or less.
I also posted it on Instagram because it was so fucking funny.
What was it?
This coworker of mine, I was reading a book about it's basically like, I think we talked about it before, Anthony, but it's like Fear and Loathing, but from the perspective of a past his prime stand-up comedian.
Oh yeah, who writes that and what's it called?
Sam Talent, and it's called Running the Light.
Nice.
And it's really fun. I'm like almost completely finished with it, and it's really fucking good. But I was reading it at work the other day, and this dude comes up to me and asks me what it's about. And I say, a down on his luck comedian. And before I can even say anything else, he just interrupts me and goes, you mean like the Joker? And then he did his best impression of the Joker laugh, but not like the traditional one. That would have been honestly way cooler. He did the Joaquin Phoenix one.
Oh no.
Who does an impression of that?
Yeah.
And then he was like, man, that was a great movie. You know who was an awesome comedian? Louis C.K. I used to love him.
Oh, God.
And then he just walked away before I could even respond to any of it. I was like almost in shock.
And this is the coworker who you're convinced is an undercover cop.
Yeah, he just be like asking people like really cop-like where they get drugs, but he's like, "Where do you get drugs? Like, what's their name?" and stuff like that.
Fuck that! It sounds like a cop to me.
Yeah, and then this guy at one point in time, one of the girls was talking about her girlfriend or something like that, and then he was just like, "Oh, so you like girls? Do you like girls and guys?"
I like this guy already. Imagine being undercover and like you're like, sweet, I can't wait to like take down criminals, and they're like, all right, your assignment is you're gonna work at Outback.
Yeah,
like, I'm not Outback anymore, dude.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
days are behind
You're
me.
at where are you at now?
The Winchester.
Oh, the Winchester. Wait,
Yeah,
it
it's a
sounds
bourbon
classy.
place.
Nice.
It is way classy.
I thought you were gonna say, imagine you're like undercover and like you just find out you're working with Cody.
In that case, that's a 2-day assignment because you can get Cody arrested in no time.
yeah, I did not. I would be an easy target.
You would be. You would.
cops.
You would get taken down easily.
Dude, do you have any drugs? Yes, all of them. My name's Cody Cannon.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like I should trust you.
Dude, well, you know who's someone you shouldn't trust?
Ooh.
Joe from Fatale.
Yes.
Joe.
Don't trust Joe.
Yeah, I love this comic. It's a great comic. We'll get into it. Welcome to another episode of Comics and Chronic. I'm Jacob H. As always, I'm joined by Cody Cannon and Anthony Iannaccio. Today we are covering Fatale by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, published by Image Comics. Cody, shut the fuck up, goddammit.
Yeah.
You can't handle your smoke.
I know, dude.
Switch to edibles
we can't have bitches on the show, Cody.
Yeah, well, then you had a fuck.
Good one. Good one.
I was going to roast myself. I just tripped over my own words.
That's how you know you suck, when you can't even roast yourself.
Anyway.
But we love you.
Anyway, let's get to the comic at hand.
Cody suffered enough abuse for one episode.
Yeah.
But Fatale, which pretty much tells the story of an immortal woman who, through the ages, gets into shenanigans with some very demonic-like forces and has powers that she can both control and kind of not control, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like that was one of the worst synopses
You're
ever heard.
You're trying too hard to make up for the fact that we roasted you. It's okay, Cody.
No, I'm just saying it was a bad job.
Damn. Well, then let's hear Cody's
let's hear Cody's take on it.
Let's hear yours.
Yeah, you don't got anything to say now, do you?
You want to hear?
Yeah, let's hear this piece of shit.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So,
whoa, good one, dude.
No, so Fatale. It's the story of this woman, this immortal woman.
Literally what I just said. Okay.
And
so far, so different.
No, this immortal woman, Joe, and it's about her tale over the years, over the decades, and she gets into some shenanigans with some demon-like forces.
Literally what I said.
I do kind of like Cody's better, though.
All right, Anthony, do you want to take a crack at it?
Yeah, no, because I think you guys are actually leaving out some details. So there's this woman. She's it's an immortal woman named Joe, right? No, I didn't even get to the part. Like, she's dealing with like these demonic forces. And she has powers, but some of them are out of her control. Right? Is
that sounded the most original out of anyone's.
It was something off the top of my head. I don't know.
No, I think people get the gist. It's a cool comic because it's like definitely half supernatural, half detective noir. Mm-hmm. Mixes both genres.
It blends those two like magically.
Yeah. No pun intended.
It feels. I mean, right away it feels super grounded, and you're like, you're not even expecting the demonic at first. I like the way it's like slowly introduced, and then it's like, oh shit, there's a lot going on with these demon dudes.
Yeah. It does. You don't even really grasp all of it until like the second or third volume.
Hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, it was at first. It's a bit confusing just because like it switches between characters and like the chronology is a little bit like here and there, and so you're kind of putting. It
switches between timelines, and that way it kind of feels like a Quentin Tarantino film. Honestly,
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
Of course, you were.
It feels like our Brooby baby.
Brooby baby.
Oh, you almost made me spit out my water. Ruby baby.
It seemed like he was definitely influenced by Tarantino, and just like that kind of like crime, like like thing of the 90s 2000s, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's also like, there's definitely like some clear like Lovecraftian homages being paid.
Definitely that.
Like hard Lovecraft, heavy Lovecraft vibes.
Like the main demon dude definitely has like Cthulhu head.
Yeah, Cthulhu head.
But a human body. Like it surprised me that it never got too much crazier than that, you know?
Well, it never gets crazier than that, but they say like there's one panel where it's like cosmic space like, and you know they say there's like darker, evil, ancient forces that have been around since the beginning of time. So they hint at like this overall like bigger thing.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like, I mean, even though it was the big baddie of the story, it was definitely left open in the way saying that there's always going to be a bigger fish.
Yeah, right. Like I think someone's like, go to hell, and he's like, oh, there are much worse places than hell, or something like that.
What's that guy's name? The villain's name? He's awesome. The dude,
Mr. Something.
Yeah, Mr. Something. What is it?
I don't know.
Ooh, I just opened up to a really great panel though. Speaking of the Cthulhu and space and shit.
I can't see it.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
You guys suck.
What volume is that?
Volume 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie isn't, wow. Actually, that mistake. Are they ever making this into like a movie or series?
I'm sure. I think it would make a great HBO miniseries.
Yeah, I would like to see a miniseries more than a movie, honestly.
Yeah, because you could do like a few episodes from each book.
Yeah, you could honestly do a 10-part miniseries, and it would probably be perfect.
For years, I wanted to write a spec script on Fatale, but Ed Brubaker already writes for HBO, so there's no point in doing that.
Not necessarily, because if you, as a spec script, what would it be? Like the pilot or just a random like story in that world?
Or not a spec script. I guess I would just want to write a script for Fatale for the screen, but there's no point because Ed Brubaker already writes for the screen. Like he wrote on Westworld, and I know he writes on a bunch of TV shows.
Yeah, but I still think that would be number one, dude. As a fan, like that's something cool to do. As a writer, that's a great practice. You know how we were talking about with Ramon, like he did Queen of the Hill spec script, and then the Sound and the Furio Sopranos spec script. Like there's people that were writers for Sopranos. You know, like I didn't realize till the other day that one of the writers for Sopranos was the showrunner for Mad Men. You know, like.
Oh yeah.
It's not like, you know, any show doesn't have the talent, but like if you're, I don't know, if I was you, I'd say as your friend, especially, I say I would still write it. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, dude, write that shit.
Yeah. But either way, I would just love to definitely see it because I think it would make for, it's fucking great. I love that it takes place throughout all different like ages, like the medieval, like when they show her medieval past.
Yeah.
That part is like honestly one of my favorite. Yeah. I think that's the coolest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you also finally get some backstory about Jo that's like starting to make sense about why she's so like magical.
Yeah. And it's cool. I love like when she like specifically I've reread Fatale so many times. Like I love it. I think it's easy one of my most highly recommended just comic books to read, honestly.
Oh, you've been telling me about this. You've been telling me about this comic for years, dude, and I'm so glad I finally read it.
Yeah, it's
I didn't read it until this summer. I read it while I was in LA.
Nice.
You breezed through it too.
Yeah,
dude, it was incredible.
It's a good
24
read.
issues.
Yeah, once it picks up, it's just like pretty addictive.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think you could pretty much read it in a day if you really wanted to. It's not that long.
Ooh, you know what I thought about?
The storytelling has the same captive powers that Jo.
That's what I was about to say. It is pretty addictive, so much so that you don't want to put it down. And like once somebody meets Jo, they never like want to leave her side. You know?
Yeah. Well, when men want to.
Yeah, when men want to. That's true. Yeah, men are easily manipulated by her.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories is when she pretty much meets like the equivalent of Nirvana.
Yeah.
In the band in Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
And they like
that
lose
is
their
a
mind.
fucked up story.
That's a super fucked up story.
Insane. That one was like almost that one takes I'd probably say the hardest horror influence.
Yeah. I just
like the way they turn on each other.
Yeah, they all turn on each other, and then they kill one of the bandmates, but they act like it's totally normal. And even one of the dude's girlfriends is like, "Why are they all acting like this is like easy to deal with?" And it's because, and she realizes it's Joe. That, like, unbeknownst to her, like, Joe doesn't always like intentionally use her powers to do this. She can just be like, there's that one scene where they're shooting the music video, and she's just dancing, having fun, and then the people around her start to like fuck each other and go crazy.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, she's so beautiful and great.
Yeah, like to the point where like other men will like rip each other's throats out just to like get her attention.
Yeah.
And what's even more fucked up, like Ed Brubaker takes this to the absolute level where like her powers, it's not just grown men that it works on, little boys.
Oh,
it like fucks their whole lives up.
Dude, her son wanted to bang her. Her like 5-year-old
and kill her,
and kill her,
bang, then kill her. But I thought one of the more interesting other examples of that is that there's a kid, he's with his family in like Disney World or something, and she just briefly walks by him. That's it.
And he's immediately like,
it turns him into a serial killer.
Oh yeah, you're
because
right.
He's looking for her his entire life, and when he takes women that kind of look like her, he like tortures them and kills. He kills
I forgot
them.
about that character. You're totally right. That's awesome.
Dude, yeah, it's just this like this blessing and curse. It's like you're immortal, but you're gonna have to deal with this. It's like this like torture your entire existence.
She'll also never know true love because of it, because it's only because of her power that men are even like really into her.
Right? She's not evil.
She's not evil at all.
Right?
It's just like whatever curse was placed on her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Do we ever know exactly where the curse comes from?
No, but I think in the medieval thing, I don't know.
She wakes up, right? And she just has no memory of what happened before that.
Yeah. So she wakes up and they tried to burn her alive, right? They thought she was a witch.
That's her, like, yeah, something like that. It's not extremely straightforward. That's why I was also confused.
I mean, I think it without saying so. I felt like it alluded to something to do with like the same kind of demonic forces that
I thought. Did like a gypsy woman not place a curse on her? Or am I making that up?
No, the gypsy woman was her friend. She actually helped her understand the curse a bit more.
Oh yes, you're right. You're right. Okay, so maybe it's not implicitly said, but somehow she gets cursed.
Yeah.
I
think, it definitely happens in that medieval time, but even she doesn't know. So it's kind of like, it gives you that Tarantino, or even if you want to, I think we mention it every episode so far this year, Memento. It's kind of got like that Memento-esque vibe.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice.
No, you're right, because she does wake up in that old dude's house in the forest who's like, no, I'm not going to try and fuck you. Oh, and he's actually the only guy, remember, who her powers didn't work on.
Right. But it turns out, I think maybe he was a eunuch or something like that.
Oh,
because one of the when the king's people come, or whoever comes for him, is like, oh, we know what you're doing with that girl, and he's like, I'm not doing anything, and it's not just because I'm missing something or something like that. There was a line of dialogue that suggested like he was a eunuch or something. But to your point, like that's maybe what stopped him from that, because we learn later on the only way to truly not be susceptible to Joe's curse is if you have these tattooed markings on you.
Yeah, those runes that the detective / the guy from World War II has on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy's a cool character too.
Yes. Is his name Walter?
Yeah, Walter.
Yeah, Walter.
Dude,
detective. Honestly, all of the characters are so well written and so well fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like, Ed Brubaker does a good job of making you fall in love with characters and then murdering them in this book.
Yeah, and often brutally in this book.
Yeah.
A lot of satanic rituals here.
Satanic rituals, people just like sacrificing themselves for Joe in like horrific ways.
Yep.
I also loved, and if you guys read more of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips stuff, Ed Brubaker loves, based on all his books, he loves diving into like West Coast Hollywood cult type of things. There's another comic books where they deal into Hollywood sex cults, and here, like a lot of that is kind of in the book too, because all the dudes like I don't know, what's the guy, the giant squid dude,
the
like,
hippie.
Oh, that dude,
like dude.
No, the villain. Like his followers are pretty much just straight up normal, like sex cult human people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those two minions of his, the guys who look like the dudes from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Those dudes are cool.
Yeah, those dudes are awesome.
Yeah, it's just a good book.
Brutal. Dude, the villains are really fucked up people, and it's like really cool.
Yeah, that whole cult.
Yeah, a lot of the villains are even just normal people. Whether it's
they just either follow the cult or the villain's name is just Bishop. They just
Bishop.
Call him Bishop.
Yeah, you're right.
Is it Mr. Bishop?
Maybe people just say Mr. Bishop, but
I think it's Mr. Bishop.
Yeah. Know what's crazy about this comic? It was originally supposed to just be like 12 issues, which was like, wow, there was way more story to tell after 12 issues.
Oh yeah.
But I'm glad it was. It's double 12. It's 24, and the last issue's pretty long.
Yeah, the last one's the biggie.
Yeah, the biggie.
Dude, I love the scene where they show Bishop throughout the ages. They kind of give like a little backstory to him.
Yes.
And like he survives. I don't know if it's World War I or one of them. They also show him in like 1930s New York City, and he like seduces women and like sacrifices the baby and shit. And he has that tree that have like tied up babies to them.
Super fucked
it's just dude. Like a lot of the imagery, like it's fucked up to look at in this book.
Yeah, it's hyper violent. Like it shows you what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Ed Brubaker was way more fucked up than his like Marvel and DC work had led me to believe, in a cool way. Like,
I mean, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips are currently like they're my favorite team right now in comic books. Nobody's touching the work they do. In all honesty,
yeah, and they just work so well together.
Yeah, and they churn out work. They like put out new shit all the time. Criminal, Kill or Be Killed, which is also being made into a movie, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, Kill or Be Killed is sick. I think Criminal and Fatale are my favorite.
And so these books that Ed Brubaker makes, it's not like a shared universe, right? Every story is standalone.
Yeah, but like they all have like the same noir detective feeling to it.
Yeah, it's like his.
That's like his niche for sure.
Yeah,
and Sean Phillips is always his art partner.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I have, like, for instance, I have Pulp, but I haven't read it. But everything about it seemed really cool.
Dude, Pulp
is like a Western, right?
Yeah, that's a one shot, or at least so far it's a one shot. Their one shots are cool too.
Who was your favorite? I guess, I mean, I think that Joe is kind of like the anti-hero of the story, but who was your favorite dude that like she loved and stuff like that?
I think Walter, honestly. I think because also Walter, because she had no power over Walter like genuinely loved her.
Yeah.
And I love I think it's in the first volume when he carves the runes into himself so he can fight Bishop, and he takes Bishop's eyes.
Yeah.
Like he was the only one who was like willing to go like toe to toe with a fucking demon.
Yeah.
Like dude
and then Bishop has to wear sunglasses.
Yeah, for like the whole entire story after that he wears sunglasses. And, and he gets more and more fucked up. Like he's burnt at one point.
Yeah. Because we learned that's happened in World War II, right? He gets burnt alive by Walter in World War II, and then Walter comes to get his eyes. Not in present day, but in present day.
In present day, he comes and takes his eyes. Yeah.
That's the thing about the story. Like Walter's in like the first volume and the second volume too,
and the second volume, yeah.
But then you don't see him for a little while, and then it's back in the past. Like there'll be like a flashback to World War II, and then they mention Walter. But in my head, I forgot about Walter because I was just reading it as kind of like one story really quickly. And then I'm like, oh shit, that's Walter who also fucked Bishop up in the present. I was like, hell yeah, Walter.
Dude, Walter was straight swinging on demons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did not give a fuck. Whereas Nicholas, so the main dude, Nicholas Lash, right? That's his name with the white hair, right? Streaking his hair. He was kind of a pussy, but he also was missing a leg, so it made it hard.
But he's also missing a leg because of her.
True.
It's because of the car accident. Everything bad that happens to him is literally because of her.
And he still loves her, though. Is like...
Yeah, but once again, it's not like real love. It's just because of her power.
Right.
In fact, actually, now that we think about it, the story ends with him in a mental asylum because he goes crazy from all the shit that Joe put her through, and Joe sells his father's books and makes money off of it.
That is true.
Yeah.
So, look, Joe belongs to the streets. I'm not going to lie. That's what's up with these demonic succubuses sucking the life and the money right out of you. I should know from Vegas.
I would let Joe ruin my life.
Oh, I would let Joe give me AIDS.
You'd be like, I'm so sorry. I don't know how it happened. It's like, yeah, it's okay.
Like, it's okay, Joe. I love you. Like, it's totally fine. I want this.
Yeah. Got anything else?
Yeah.
So reading the story, as I was getting towards the end, I had to look this up because I was like, I hope this is not true because it would be too fucked up.
What?
I was starting to think that Nicholas was Joe's son, like grown up, or a son that she had to give up for adoption or something, or had to pretend it wasn't hers, like for his safety.
Yeah.
But it's not. And I had to look that up because I saw something with Ed Brubaker and he's like, no, even I'm not that fucked up.
That thought never crossed my mind.
It crossed my mind because we saw that with little kids, even her own son, the power works on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like a thought where I'm like, please don't let this be the case because that's too fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it wasn't. Like, Nicholas is not her son. But that's a huge revelation that she did have a son.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know that at first.
She says it's the only time she ever tried to like have a family with somebody.
Right.
And it backfired because the son like just gets swayed by her power and like legit gets jealous of like her life.
Yeah.
It's also creepy just because of how young the son is too. Like he's legit like a fucking kid.
Right.
Yeah, he's like 5 or something.
Yeah, he's like 5.
Yeah. Yep. And I think someone tries to warn her like it would happen and she's like, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
she ignores it.
So she blames herself for that happening, actually.
I mean, dude,
it's really tragic.
It is tragic. And in every issue, she's literally smashing in every issue.
Yep.
Joe
doesn't stop it. She's like,
dude, she's getting that D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Joe is very sex positive.
Yeah. And we love that for her.
We love that for her. Even if it ruins everyone's life.
Yeah. That's the moral of the story.
She's literally like the ultimate.
If you're sex positive, it'll ruin everyone's life.
But like it literally, like it's not so on the nose that it makes it corny, but she is the ultimate femme fatale, you know? And being with her in any way, even crossing her path will end your life.
That's true.
Whether she wanted to or not.
I never thought about that. You're right, because it is fatale. And whenever you think about a fatale, you do think of like a woman who's out there killing intentionally. She's literally just trying to run away and live her life. But every time she crosses paths with anyone, it just goes terribly for her and them. And she's also being hunted. She's also being hunted by demons.
Yeah, I was gonna say the demons could sense her. They have like her Joe sense.
Yeah. What is the reason? I forget. Why do they want to kill her again?
Give him power or more power?
Is it to give Bishop power, or is it to like? I almost feel like it was like to get that energy or like her essence just out of the existence.
I think so. Yeah. Some parts of the story, I'll admit, I did find a bit confusing. Not that it was like so convoluted, but they didn't just harp on it, you know, like they didn't try to explain it too much.
Yeah, they didn't. A lot of this book is written in a way that it leaves a lot to the imagination, and I mean that in the most positive way.
Yeah,
right. Like I said, it wasn't confusing in the sense like, what did I just read? It was just like, oh, did they explain that? It doesn't really change much.
It doesn't really. It doesn't.
You know,
it doesn't. Yeah, I guess it doesn't change much because it doesn't change like their intentions. You know what they want. You know.
Right, like the big plot of the story is like there's this hunt going on. Not that it's a hunt, but it's like a woman hunt. Like they're constantly on Joe's track, and like they're trying to they're trying to get to her. She definitely has a page, or someone has a page from their book. Maybe that's what they need.
Yeah, she does.
They're always looking for that page.
Yeah, she does have something from
that's
like
what
that
it is.
Ancient demonic book thing.
Right.
Yeah, to give him more power or whatever it is to
right.
end the world or whatever he's trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you guys remember, there's that one dude who has the page locked away, but like he almost doesn't know that he does. But Joe like activates him, and
I know
even when she's not around, he's like really fucked up. But she keeps him around so that thing would stay hidden and they're off her scent.
In the house, the dude in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has the runes on him.
Yes.
That old man. Yeah.
No, that's a different dude too, entirely.
Oh, okay.
But that's a cool character, the librarian.
The librarian, that guy's cool as fuck.
Yep. Did you realize he was the grandson of the Native American dude she met in the past?
No, I don't think so. No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. because he mentions he's like, my grandfather was a Native American who taught me these things or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's a very, again, that's the like we're talking about the comics, is one line, they don't harp on it.
Yeah.
They say it and it's gone.
But if you pay attention, there's a lot of shit that's like interwoven and linked to one another.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's beautifully so. It's the whole thing. It's like Joe is this walking black hole that, like, once anything related to you, it just like everything revolves around her and connects, and it's just incredible.
Yeah.
She's also sexy, has thick black hair.
Yeah.
Just like her
in real life. Yeah. Okay. Question: who would you cast as Joe live action?
Honestly, Scarlett Johansson.
You think Scarlett Johansson?
Because like not that I see her when I read it, but like Scarlett Johansson could have that effect on me. I feel like if you were to dye her hair black and make her play Joe, like I'd be like, yeah, I would have my life ruined by her.
No, okay, that's good. Know who I was thinking, because she already has black hair. I could see her as it. She's not maybe the best actress.
Who?
I was thinking Megan Fox as Joe.
Good. I get what you mean looks wise, but no. Action
not acting.
Wise,
yeah, not acting.
Looks wise, yes. I would say maybe Kate Beckinsale back in the day at least.
Okay. I could see that.
Because Underworld, she has
and
pretty black hair and she can act, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Angelina Jolie at some point.
Ooh, yeah. Yep. I would see that.
Yeah, younger Tomb Raider era Angelina.
Yeah. Charlize Theron, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much any of the...
I always see her as blonde, but yeah, she could do that.
You just dye their hair.
There was... I kind of remember watching a movie as a kid, and it sucked, but it was Rebecca Romaine Stamos, and it was called, I think, Femme Fatale or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
But I feel like she could have also pulled it off. Like her work as Mystique, I feel like that would be a good role for her too.
Yeah. Or Betty White.
Yeah.
Betty White.
Betty White is Joe.
Yeah.
Yes, but like Golden Girls era better.
Well, yeah. In the last issue, we do finally see Joe after she manages to destroy the curse.
Yeah, she
get rid of her curse. She finally gets to become an old lady and die of old age. And so, yeah,
she gets a happy ending.
She gets a happy ending, but literally nobody else does.
Yeah.
No.
But it's her story.
Do you think it's really an allegory about toxic masculinity? I say that jokingly, but then it's like you could low-key interpret.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, because you could make this. You don't, in a way, like you could take away the magic and not have the curse, and have it be that like she's such a an attractive woman. Like the way men act around her is toxic. Like they kill for her, and they like cheat on their wives and their fiancés for her.
Yeah, they try to rape her if they don't get what they want.
Right, and that happens actually. Even if people are under her curse, and she can control them and tell them. She could literally tell any man what to do and they'll listen to her. Yeah, but she can also sometimes, like, if they're too under her power, they can try to, like, rape her and she can't tell them. Right, exactly. Yeah.
So,
like, that toxic masculine part of themselves still is there.
Ooh, see, toxic masculinity is more powerful than any dark magic.
Unfortunately, yeah. I liked how the demon people were like, we've been around forever, but when World War I and World War II happened, especially with the Nazis, we saw that what you were capable of, and we're like, yes, we could work in plain sight. Like they could still be fucked up because the world was already acting fucked up, and they're just like, cool, we're gonna do our thing now. Well,
there's also those like flashbacks from Walter's perspective before he ever meets Bishop, and he's like, I always felt like things were weird, and he would see like a van of Nazis go by, and one of them would look like monstrous.
Yeah,
and he was like, "What?" That happens a bunch throughout the comic, where like people think they see a demon, and it's just like they can see like them inside, like they can see the demon inside of people.
It's almost like all those people are like Roddy Piper from They Live. Like they can see the demons, but not everyone else can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, such good, like, I don't know, incredible book. Definitely one of the best reads I had last year, plain and simple.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. This is one of the few comic books that I've reread more than like a few times, honestly. I think it has high rereadability.
Yeah, I think it will make more sense on my second read for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the character? Or I thought it was cool actually that even though the character was kind of shitty, but it's the dude that Joe meets in the band.
Oh, and he comes back years later, and he's that crazy homeless dude who kidnaps Nick and tortures him. Yeah, dude, I love that scene.
His life was really ruined.
His life got super ruined by Joe.
Yeah.
But dude, you know what's cool is in that scene, so at the end of that book, Nicholas gets kidnapped by who you realize is the dude from the band like 30 years ago. When he was
right, because he has a different name at first, and then Nick is the one to be like, "Oh shit, you're that dude."
Yeah, you're that guy, and he's all grizzled now, and like clearly has been like hunting for Joe ever since she ruined their lives. But I think it's also cool that like Bishop uses that dude as like a dog. He's like, you guys can track anyone who's been touched by Joe's magic, any man.
Yeah,
they automatically, whether they know it or not, they have like a hound, like a bloodhound sense for her, and so Bishop can use those guys to like lead them to Joe.
Yep.
It's just really cool how the magic works.
Yeah.
I really like the next to last issue where so it's issue 23, I guess. It's basically a sex issue. It's like Joe and Nick having sex, but like the art is insane. It's all like these double page spreads, and it's in space.
Oh, when they're in like outer space and having sex among the cosmos.
Yeah, it's not that that's what they're doing, but just the way
like how it feels.
It's really, really, really cool. Like it's so different from the art from the rest of the series.
Also, that,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that kid who becomes a serial killer. I'm just because I'm looking at it right now. He totally looks like Andrew Sorrentino from. Seriously, if you go to it, I'm looking. I know you can't see it in the camera, but trust me, if I showed you this one page, he looks exactly like Andrew Sorrentino.
Now we know what Andrew Sorrentino is secretly. He's pretending to be a stand-up comedian, but
who would you guys? So you already talked about who would you cast as Joe? Who would you cast as like Bishop or Walter?
Wait, Cody, who would you cast as Joe?
Oh yeah.
I would. I don't know. Probably. I think we're like on. I think you guys kind of like hit the nail on the head. You just need like whoever is the finest woman acting right now. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. It could literally be anyone. You think?
No, I mean, honestly, I think like her being like really curvy and stuff like that, and just like, I think that's like an important.
I agree, and I think that is important because she is super curvy in the book. Not like incredibly like super heroine drawn where tits are popping out. She's just like a kind of like a thick, like she has a nice body. She has this like thick black hair. Like she's supposed to be immensely attractive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like without the powers, if you see her walk by, you would still be like, oh, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly.
So like, I agree. I do think that's like important, and that's Look
Wait,
at
so
us.
Jake, who were you saying also to cast? Walter, and
Bishop. Just as far as like Nicholas, who would you cast as Nicholas?
Nick. Off the top of my head, Bishop, I'm saying Brian Cox.
Ooh,
I feel like he could do a good Bishop.
I like that actually.
Right?
Brian Cox,
especially a younger Brian Cox.
Yeah, but even older, I think it works perfectly.
Because throughout the comic, he's pretty much older, and he has his demonic Cthulhu head. So
yeah, but okay, I mean that makes sense. I don't know.
He's only younger in the flashbacks.
Yeah, I am. It's not that I hate. It's just that Brian Cox is really fucking old now.
Dude, do you watch Succession? Because he also kicks ass. So.
I just started it actually. I'm like one episode in.
Well, get to me when you're 20 episodes in.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. Sorry.
Okay, I forgive you guys for sucking.
For Bishop, I was gonna say something like honestly, like Bryan Cranston.
I knew you were gonna say that. I literally just right now. I knew you were gonna say.
I was
Bryan
thinking
Cranston.
of Bryan Cranston too. Yeah.
Or even
Liam Neeson.
I was gonna say Robert Patrick.
Who's Robert Patrick again?
T-1000.
Oh.
Oh.
Have you been watching Peacemaker?
He's in Peacemaker.
I know.
I would have cast. I don't know if I'd cast him as Bishop. But he's good.
Yeah, I wouldn't like him as Bishop. I don't know why.
Yeah. What about Walter?
Walter.
Young Walter or old Walter?
I guess old Walter.
Yeah, old Walter's a bit more prominent.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like an old white guy.
Donald Logue.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, Donald Logue. He fucking played Gordon in the Gotham series.
He did play Gordon in the Gotham series.
Okay, I can see that.
What's his name? Walter. Steve Lang? Is that his name?
Oh, Stephen Lang
from Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah,
I like that.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Or
I can see that.
If not as Walter, maybe as the dude from the band when he comes back years later.
Oh,
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think he'd be great as that character.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nicholas Lash.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, it's kind of hard to cast for him because
he's not
like,
really that cool of a character, if in all honesty.
Yeah, like I can't say I disliked him, but I didn't like him. Chris Pratt.
He probably wouldn't do a bad job.
I think he's too goofy to play Nick Lash, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nick Lash I would describe as goofy. He's just kind of like under Joe's power.
Yeah.
Michael Cera as Nick
Michael
Lash.
Cera. Oh,
Okay,
dude,
Joe,
Bradley Cooper, a la Silver Linings Playbook. Bradley Cooper.
I actually like that. That's actually good.
Okay.
Good casting. And you're right. That character does feel like Nick Lash.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. I'm down with Bradley Cooper as Nick Lash. Yeah.
Okay.
We got to hit up HBO and Ed Brubaker and be like, yo, dog, we just casted your whole entire comic book.
Yeah.
Give it to it.
Us.
Yeah, give us the rights to your own book.
Yeah. Comics and Chronic presents.
Fatale. Oh, shit.
And then Brubaker joint.
Comics and Chronic Studios.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, no, it's just a solid fucking book. Great mixing of genres. Pulls it off perfectly.
Yeah.
I love the noir horror shit.
Yeah. It's honestly like one of the color scheme is like almost entirely like shades of dark, like dark blues, dark.
Yeah,
you know
very
what I mean?
dark.
Like,
Yeah,
that's true.
Dark.
That's true.
And it's so beautiful. It's just like such it's a beautiful dark story. It's like it's a really depressing book, and I mean that in a cool way. Like it's tragic as fuck for everyone except for Joe.
I agree.
It fits the tone. Yeah, like it's got to be that
way.
Yeah,
it's by no means a feel-good comic book. And even at the end, when you're like, oh, wow, the curse is finally like taken off her. It's like, oh, but Nicholas's life is ruined forever.
Yeah. Everyone's life. She traveled through time, leaving a wake of destruction and despair behind her.
You're absolutely right. She travels through time. You're right, dude. For hundreds of years, she's out here ruining men's lives.
Yeah, just like entire communities destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The story where she's a cowgirl and she does meet the Native American is one of the cooler ones, I thought.
Yeah, that is cool because she's an outlaw, basically.
Yeah.
She's running with a gang, or she's the leader of the gang.
She's the leader of the gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But when she sees him, she's like, "Oh shit! Why aren't my powers working on you?" And then you find out it's because of the markings and shit.
Oh, the Native American, right?
Yeah. Milk-Fed is his name.
Milk-Fed. Yeah.
Yeah, Milk-Fed.
Yeah.
That's a cool name. How many Joe Peasies you guys giving it?
Well, I was going to say this before I give it that, and maybe it'll explain it. I feel like it deserves a 6 because it's like a demonic story, right? But at the end of the day, right? Because this isn't the kind of comic I gravitate to. You know what I mean? That doesn't make it bad. It's just like I don't really read like noir detective comic sort of things. Like if it's in Batman, sure, but it's not this level. You know, like this is way better than that. Obviously, I actually. Have, and I don't think I ever read it. Brubaker has a run on Batman, and then he did Gotham Central, right?
Central,
That's what it's called, Gotham Central. Yeah. So Brubaker has dipped his toes in the superhero world doing that, like Death of Captain America, and his Captain America run isn't necessarily like noir, but it has those elements. But all that to say, like generally when I read comics, I am like you always say, Jake, I'm a Marvel slut, I'm a DC slut, like. I try to read as many indies as I could, but at the end of the day, that is what I gravitate towards. I like superhero cape comics. I'm still one of those guys.
Because you're an uncultured swine, you're going to give this comic book less than a 6?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to have to...
That's outlandish.
I'm going to have to give it...
Wait, I have to ask before this. What did you give X-Men again?
A 5.5.
Oof. All right. If this is...
I gave X-Men 5.5.
If this is less than that, that's crazy. But go ahead.
It's actually, I think this is the 3rd episode in a row where I give something a 5.5. So I'm giving this a 5.5.
I'm just making sure that. Wait, what did you give the Jesus book?
I think I gave it a 4 or 4.5.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to make sure that other books are somehow beating this.
Yeah,
just because this is arguably this is a very strong comic book, regardless of
Absolutely no. Like I'm trying to explain all that for my score. Like the 0.5 is just my own personal taste preference that I just can't change. That's
fair.
all.
That's fair. I'll take it. I don't like it, but I'll take it.
Thank you.
Because realistically, I think this deserves 666s all around. But Cody, what about you?
So I do have like a couple times. No, I'm just fucking around. 6, baby. Yeah, 6 for sure, dude.
Are we going to do the demonic?
I'm giving it a 6 also, man, because it's just a great art, great story, great writing,
great story, really captivating. Really, it's just. It's the kind of comic that only, in my opinion, only comes along every so often.
I agree.
Like it's a long run, but it's also not that long. And like I said, the world is so well woven together and lush that like I just couldn't. It's like literally one of the best. I put it in like the top 20 comics I've ever read.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I would put it in the top 10 that I've ever read easily.
Nice. See, I just don't like it that much. I don't know if I would put it in the top 20. I would definitely reread it. I definitely love that I own it. I just think I need to like refine my taste a little bit. So my question being, after reading this, which is literally my first Ed Brubaker comic that isn't, like I said, Captain America or Batman or whatever, what is the next Ed Brubaker comic? As fans that you guys have read other ones, what should I read next?
I would read Criminal.
Okay.
Criminal's awesome.
I've not even finished Criminal. I think I read a couple issues of Jake's when I lived in New York, maybe.
Yeah.
Or sometime. I know I didn't finish it because he didn't have all of them with him.
Gotcha.
But I read some of it and it was so good.
Yeah, I like Criminal a lot. The other ones are shorter runs. Like Kill or Be Killed was good, but it was only like 4 volumes, I think. Maybe 3.
Yeah, it's a shorter one.
And then Fade Out is really good, but it's not as good. Criminal and Fatale are definitely their strongest.
Gotcha. Oh, and it's still Sean Phillips. Like, is every book in?
Right, of course, it's Sean Phillips. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Or you should read Incognito, which is also really good.
Criminal or Incognito. Okay. I do like, this is what I love about the podcast. Like, there's a lot of books that I either wouldn't have read because I just don't gravitate to those kind of books, or I just never heard of it. Like, I love Philadelphia. I just didn't hear about it until you brought it up.
Well, here, this is what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because I just thought about it. I forgot that they wrote this, and I have it right here. Fucking what you should read, especially because, all right, you're like, this is not your typical genre. You do gravitate more superhero.
Right.
And so this is both noir and superhero. And
okay.
This is a cool comic because you're going to like the research behind it. It's Jim Lee's Wildstar universe, Wildcat universe. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's like, it's Image or kind of DC.
It's kind of DC, kind of Image. It's called Sleeper. This is the entire omnibus.
Sleeper. Ooh, nice. Okay.
It's all Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and it's cool because I read a cool interview. Ed Brubaker was hesitant to do it because it was with characters that were already made up for DC by Jim Lee.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
But he did it, and it's fucking, dude, it's fantastic. It's superhero, like literally takes place in a world of, you'll see some DC superheroes in it, Midnighter specifically, but it has like noir, like giant, like Illuminati-esque type shit going on.
Nice.
And it's funny because they talk about like, there's like some really comedic moments where people talk about like, how did they get their villain names or their superhero names? There's this one which is totally meant to be a joke, but it's hilarious. This woman, she can control homosexual men, and she goes by the name Fag Hag.
Oh boy!
and so literally, she's telling her story, and it's because she got bit by a radioactive homosexual.
Oh my god! Wait, Brubaker made this guy up?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god!
It's fucking awesome. But dude, it's a great comic, and it's deep. It goes in there. Like, this is a huge read. So I would say Criminal, and Sleeper are my top 2 for them after Fatale.
Nice. All right, so I'll have to check that out because like I was saying, like I gravitate towards certain comics. You know, sometimes I read comics because I'm just like, oh, I want to just know all about the continuity, and a lot of these comics are just standalone. They don't have that. And
sometimes I really like that though. I love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't need everything to be connected like DC and Marvel. Sometimes I just want separate stories.
Yeah, sometimes, in my opinion, sometimes like a short run is almost better by being that than being a part of something better. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that wraps this one up.
Yeah. I'm disappointed.
Thanks again, loyal commies. And we love you guys.
Sorry, we couldn't give you the 666.
I'm gonna perform a satanic ritual and about this because Anthony needs some bad karma for that one.
Oh, God. Cody, you're just out here wishing ill on everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
From
he takes the
beginning
light
to end. Yeah. What's happening to you, Kevin Costner? Then you tried to mock my synopsis and only gave an equally as shitty one.
It was the same exact
Oh, God. Well, yeah. Thanks for tuning in to yet another episode of Comics Chronic. As always, we appreciate you guys. Check us out.
Yes, we do.
Everywhere.
Yep. And rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. God damn it. You're listening. So we know
you're listening.
Yeah, you're out there.
Yeah. You're out in these streets in a way that we cannot be.
Yeah.
So spread the word on the streets, just like Joe spread AIDS throughout time.
The good word of bitching.
Spread the word. Yeah, spread the satanic word. Bring more followers to our cause.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later.
Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jake F.H.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics and Chronic. That's Comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo!
Peace.